Buffy Russell, 39 years. I am dealing with a hemiplegia of the left leg. I also have something called unilateral schizencephalus, which is a very rare brain disorder where a quarter of my right brain is missing. We didn't find that out until the day of my accident. The day of my accident was May 22nd, 2002. Remember like it was yesterday. I was at work and I had a slip and fall, and I hurt my back and wound up with a concussion. Went to the hospital, and on the ride to the hospital in the ambulance, both of my legs went numb, and then I knew something was wrong. It's been almost 10 years since the accident, and I'm doing fine now. A tremendous amount of fear. When someone looks at you in the face and says you may never be able to walk again, your whole life turns upside down. At the time, I was newly married, 2 years. I had a 2-year-old, a 7-year-old. I had moved into a new house. I had a job. You think that your whole life is over. That what are you going to do? I can't chase after a 2-year-old in a wheelchair. I can't chase after a 7-year-old. I can't go back to work. I can't. What can I do? And you're kind of stuck in that mindset for quite a while. Oh, my family, most definitely, my family. I come from a very big group of strong-willed people. My mom, I remember being in the hospital, and my mom looked at me and she grabbed my face like this and goes, "You are going to do this. You are not going to be in this wheelchair. You're going to stand up, you're going to walk, and you're going to be happy. We're going to do this together." And she kind of like was shocked. I was like, okay, I guess this is what we're going to do. But there's a definite change in your body, a definite change in your mindset when your whole world goes upside down. You don't know what to do. You scramble and you try to think of ways to help yourself, and then you can't think of anything. So, what do I miss? There's a couple of things I miss. I miss being able to ride a bike. I miss being able to run, and I miss being able to buy a pair of high-heel shoes. I think my daughter is a shoeaholic, and I used to be. And when her and I go shopping, I look at the shoes with her, and I sit there and I go, oh, those heels are so gorgeous. And I look at my leg, and I walk away. But I think riding a bike and walking, or not walking, but running is a big thing that I miss too. So. I do everything now. There's nothing that I can't do besides ride a bike. But I just, about 2 or 3 years ago, finished for the first time a 3.5-mile walk with the MS Foundation. I'm constantly chasing my kids up and down the soccer field, whether it's track or it's soccer or it's basketball. Taking the dogs for a walk, doing housework, running up and down steps. I do it in a little different way than the normal person does, but it gets done. There's nothing that I can't do anymore. My current and future goals would be to do another 3.5-mile walk for the MS Foundation. Got sidetracked for a year, but that's one of my goals to do again. And I think one of my biggest goals would be to do a 3-day for the Breast Cancer Foundation. My biggest goal. It was a year after my accident, a year of begging doctors, begging nurses, begging insurance companies to allow me to have physical therapy. Because basically when I left the hospital, they left me with nothing. No answers, no physical therapy, no equipment. So it was me being proactive. And about a year later, one of the doctors finally said, okay, we'll do physical therapy. I went to Christiana Care, their Physical Therapy Plus, and the people there were wonderful. They saw a challenge and just went on heads on with it. They taught me the basics of life survival, like what do you do if you fall on the floor and say your house catches on fire? You need to crawl to that phone. Crawl. Take baby steps. I learned how to move my back in order to swing my leg to be able to be a little bit mobile. How to use crutches properly. How to work getting up and down steps. And they did a wonderful job. They did what they could do at the time. I think my biggest challenge was teaching my brain to just walk. It's not complicated, just walk. When you're faced with what I had to deal with, you kind of forget how to just let your body do what it does normally. And it was a challenge, but you have to take a deep breath and just say, okay, just walk. You're gonna walk. It works. I was in a drugstore and I had gone to pick up pictures of mine. And as I was walking past the counter, I had one of my older braces on and it had screws in it. And all of a sudden, I could hear the screws clinking out of my pant leg. And I immediately, I was asking for the pictures and I went, I'll have my and I fell right down to the floor. Screws were everywhere. Some little old lady who was about 80 or 90 years old was in a walker. She started screaming like she was having a heart attack. People were scrambling and they were just staring at me and I was laughing on the floor. The clerk had come from behind the counter. Of course, they asked me if I was okay. I was fine. He helped me to my feet and he's like, how can I help you? What am I supposed to do? I said, do me a favor, call the pharmacist. And spoke to the pharmacist and he unboxed the walker and brought it up to the front so I could get myself to my car. And I had clerks picking up screws and little things and bits and pieces off the floor going, here, I put them in a bag for you. And I got home and immediately called John and said, we have an issue. The brakes broke in the middle of a department store. And said, come on over. And we fixed it. So you gotta have a lot of strong will. You have to have a lot of faith. And my one rule of thumb is not to have people put you in a box. Not to define you as a missing limb or a limb that doesn't work. You are not the limb. You are a person. That you define yourself. And you have to find inner strength. And when you're faced with something like this, you finally realize how strong you are. You never realize how strong you are until something like this would happen. Don't let people define you. You are not a disability. You're an ability. You still have a heartbeat. You still have a brain that thinks. You still have a sense of humor. And you have an option. You have two options, in fact. One is to either take the challenge on and take the bull by the horns and say, okay, what do I need to do to make myself normal again? And take it step by step. Or you can lay down and let your situation overcome you. And lay down and say, okay, this is it. Go into a depression, never walk again. It's up to you. You need to make that decision. And you need to look deep inside of yourself and say, am I going to do this because I have to and I want to, or are you just going to walk away from it? The option is yours. You define yourself. And there's nothing that you can't do. Don't let somebody tell you that you can't. Those are the words that I hate. I can't. Because yeah, you can. You need to kind of slap yourself and say, okay, calm yourself down. This is what I need to do. You know, and just do it. Because if you don't, the rest of your life, is going to go by you, and you're going to be sitting in a chair. You know, you need to be proactive, and you can do it. You just have to dig deep and say, okay, this is what I can do. You know, and once you find that inner strength, there is nothing you can do. You always have to have that positive mindset. Take the bull by the horns and say, I'm going to walk. And I'm going to do it because I want to do it. And I want to do it because I have a support system. You know, you need to grab onto a support system, whether it be a friend, a family member, a minister, somebody. And just say, look, I'm having an issue. And I can't do this by myself. And grab onto everything that they can give you and be proactive. Learn, read, do anything you can do to help yourself. And that's it. You and I call this the Jurassic. This is the dinosaur. This is the one I first started out with after begging insurance companies for over a year to give me something to make me stand upright. And I got this piece of equipment that's a drop lock brace. It took me about a month to learn how to use it, and basically what it does is it holds your legs straight. So you have to swing through your back to actually get it to move forward. And you really, really, really look like Frankenstein. And it's uncomfortable, makes your back hurt, but it kept me upright and it kept me mobile for quite a long time. Then we moved to the second brace, which is right there, the black one. That was like the coup de grace when I got it. It was like the best thing since sliced bread. It gave me the ability to bend my leg and walk with normalcy. I have almost a normal gait. It gave me a sense of quality of life that I didn't have with the old brace. And I was more mobile, I could do more things. Now the one that I have on now is this is the ultimate. This is from Autovac. And this is my best friend right now. I walk with normalcy. It gives me relief in my back, so I don't have to swing my back a lot. And I can do anything with this one. All right, this that I'm wearing, this brace here, is a piece by Autovac. It is one of the newest pieces of technology that I have, thanks to John at Independence Prosthetics. Basically what it is it's a robotic brace. What I have in my foot plate at the bottom, which you can't see, which is inside the shoe, it goes underneath my foot, is 4 almost airbag sensors that send messages to the computer piece in here that measures my center of gravity and allows me to walk, which is awesome. I don't think they've come out with anything newer. This here is where the computer processor is in here. It's also the gears that help me walk. There are sensors at the bottom of my foot that go up through a cable, which is here. If I show you if I stand up, it's really noisy. And you hear it turn on, and that tells me that I'm ready to walk. It also has a battery, which I don't think you can see. I don't think I can put it up high enough. There's the battery pack, and that's connected to the sensor here. And take a step. This tells me and pushes my leg forward so I can walk. And I can walk normal with a little bit of a limp, but I would rather have the limp than not be able to walk at all. And it's a little hard to sit down, but you have to learn how to do it. You push yourself a little forward and it sits down for you, and the sensor goes off.